Did, Here we are live. Welcome to Saturday morning with Navigate Biz. Gosh,
Good
this is
morning.
cool.
How you doing this morning?
Yeah, very well, very well. We've both done our exercise and we're ready and roaring to go, right? So,
Yep.
a good topic today. Good topic. We were talking about this yesterday, right? And just talking about the trends or what we're seeing in local markets. A lot of people are thinking about what's going on in the global market, but hey, we got to go and have a look at what's going on in the local market, because there might be some wins there for you if there's challenges in the global happenings, for want of a better word.
Yeah. No. Look. Hey. Well, I guess there's always big themes that overarch everything, and it's easy for little old us to think, well, that's the big headlines in the financial papers and things like that. That doesn't really mean anything to me, or I can't take advantage of those things. But that's not true.
Yeah. Yes.
Hey, as you know, like, hey, what I do all the time, all day, is invest in businesses, and hey, I guess, I've been a pretty active investor for 31 years now.
Yeah.
And what's actually given me more success in that is actually hanging my initially little investments, my little businesses initially, hanging them off these big overarching mega trends, what I call mega trends, the big themes.
Yeah.
And some of those things are transition of energy, the shifting of energy, which is obviously been in the background now for a couple of decades. We've got globalization and the changes, geopolitical events. There's always geopolitical events going on around the world, and obviously there's pretty significant ones at play right now around globalization and how does that change. You've got infrastructure and the obviously increasing populations and changing modes of transport. That's a big theme in the background, and you've got inflation, interest rates. So you've got all these really big, heavy themes that sit over the top.
Big things.
And I guess if you would say to me, what's the secret sauce? If you break down what is the things that actually make your life successful and your businesses successful, is that I'm able to either shift and position existing businesses or go and start or purchase new businesses that are that actually feed and support those. That doesn't necessarily mean that, and for example, in the energy space, it doesn't mean that I need to have that, something that's creating the energy, but can I have a business that feeds into that? And because what we're talking about is the flow of money. Where is the flow of money coming from, and how do you get that flow?
Tap into it.
Flowing into your business and ultimately into your life. So we can all do this.
We can. Now, I know we were having a fabulous conversation with our Biz Boot Campers yesterday, because we're going live. It was great. It was a wonderful conversation, and we actually tipped into this just slightly yesterday. So, one of our participants was saying that in his industry, construction, and we've seen it everywhere, that the supply of goods and materials coming from overseas has become harder, in that it might take longer. You look at the new car market, you got to wait a very long time for a new car to turn up nowadays. And he was sharing that he was able to source what he needed for his business to supply his customers and complete his projects with his customers way ahead of everybody else, because he found a good alternative here locally.
Local supply. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, there's a lot of businesses out there that might be listening and watching this that go, yeah, I can relate to that. Like, we've got a staff member who imports goods from overseas, and the challenges that we've all heard, the challenges of delays in logistics and the extra cost of those logistics. Well, what are our business owners who are listening and watching this? What are you doing to find alternatives? And is there an alternative in the local market? Now I know they're going to say,
well, can you be the alternative?
Can you be the alternative?
And that's really the opportunity here. You know, when we talk about supply chain and global events going on, and that continue to snowball a lot of these global events. And so we're talking about, you know, we've spent the last 1 to 2 decades, you know, shifting into this really highly globalized, highly interconnected supply chain where each country has got its niche that it gets really good at. And we're used to this. The buzzword of the last couple of decades was just-in-time supply, so that we were getting really efficient of our inventory holding. You know, like how anyone that's had business with stock understands what I'm talking about here, where you've got, you know, you have become completely reliant on the fact that the supply chain is so reliable, so regular, that the factory is going to punch that product out, that it's going to get to the port on time, that it's going to be loaded into the ship that's as regular as clockwork, it's going to jump into a courier at this end, and it's going to get into your store, and you've been able to just absolutely minimize down to the nth degree how much stock you hold to increase the cash flow and the return on investment in your business. Now, and I over the last 20 years have been right at the front of the queue of being able to do that, you know, and actually making that money spin as quick as possible. Now, what we've got now is we've got a factory that's probably got half its workers and a couple of production lines off because of COVID.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, we've got
we're not
ports,
just talking China, it's everywhere, right? It is everywhere. It's global.
And then they're getting the product to the port, and the port's chock-a-block and can't actually, you know, so you've got the delay getting the product on there. We've got ships that are blooming clogged up out to sea that can't get it. So that, you know, we've got these months and months, and then, you know, you may get to the other end here, and it jumps on a courier to get delivered to your place. However, it can't because the courier driver and whatever else has been exposed to COVID, and he's at home for the next 7 days. So you've got a delay there. So this whole thing
many cogs that can just go wrong, right? So many parts to the puzzle that just, you know, a couple of them go, you know, delayed, and it just has this massive ripple effect, right?
So what that's done is opened up the opportunity for local supply, local supply to become, because the consumer, whether it's B2B or B2C, is maybe less cost conscious and more time conscious, depending on what the product and the industry is, and it really has opened up. And you know, I would challenge business owners and would-be entrepreneurs to really think about how they can tap into that. You know, I believe there has been the emergence of manufacturing locally, not just in Australia but all around the world, and it's just the tippy tip of the iceberg. You know, I think we'll really see that play out going forward over the remainder of this decade. But I mean, there's just so many other things. You know, we've got you know, AI and technology and how that streamlines and adds efficiencies from a personnel standpoint, where you know, we've got very low unemployment, people struggling to get people. How can you automate areas of your business to get those efficiencies in there? And this isn't something that you can just put in the too hard basket. This is if you want to be competitive going forward, where you've got other costs rising in your business. How do you scale and expand with efficiency? And a lot of the times AI and technology, like, hey, and you're a great component.
We do it all the time.
Proponent for that. With all of your, you know, every day Jane comes in, there's another app, another platform, another, you know, something else that's been unearthed out there that comes in, from everything from dictating notes to you know, how we look after databases, to how we contact our database, you know, all of those things. And then, you know, we've got a shift in you know, currency, you know, cryptocurrency. Whether you a proponent for that or not, the fact is it's here. And that opens up a bunch of other industries all around that. You know, like there's whole finance industries getting shaped around you know, cryptocurrency, particularly Bitcoin and blockchain technology, that open up areas where, if you were in finance, if you were, if you're whether you're a broker, whether you're a financial advisor, how does this
Impacts everything.
change how you look at the information that you're providing to your clients, to your marketplace? Are you being the expert? Are you being the leader in these things that are emerging themes behind? Because these mega trends affect everybody. So don't sit there and think that it's not about you or your business, and it's nothing like, this is how you jump on and be the leader in your game.
Yeah, and you touched on a couple of good points there. And I do go and find other platforms and things that can help us, but it's always from the perspective of how can we be more efficient? How can I be more efficient? How can we be more efficient? But also, how can we provide a better service to our customer? So it's not about getting distracted by the new shiny toy. I just subscribe to a couple of good platforms that I know tell me about these things, and if it looks valid, well, I'll go and explore it. So that's your obligation as a business owner. You've got to be constantly looking, how can I be more efficient? How can I provide a better experience to my customer? And so that's your role. And the next piece to the next level is, you're an expert in your field, or whatever business you're in, selling pens, coffee, finance, whatever it is, education to business owners. Our obligation is to improve our expertise. And that's therefore watching what's going on out there in the local and the global market. That's your obligation. Your customers are there because they see you as an expert. So you need to continue to provide value. Hey, we saw this, like a financial planner. Here's a great opportunity. There's a new cryptocurrency, new trend that's coming. Have you thought about this? And it's like a stockbroker. Look, this business is doing well. That business isn't doing well. They're providing advice all the time, whether it's accredited advice or whether it's just saying, hey, brand new coffee made locally at Mooloolaba instead of buying it from Brazil. This is a locally made. I know, I've gone to the farm. Like this is great value you're providing to your customer. It can be really simple, like a restaurant. I'm now buying all my produce from the local farm. I've gone and visited. Here's the pictures. Here's a social media opportunity. All these things, and they could just be little things, right? They don't have to be. Don't feel the people who are listening.
The energy theme, like how many cafe, we're all about green, sustainable, and all the rest of that. How many of these new age trendy cafe, vegan cafe, all of that? Have you ever been into one that is highlighting that they run on solar energy with a battery?
Yeah.
I've not been to a cafe. No, okay.
What an
guarantee you, a lot of the people that are in there are proponents, and that's one example. That's one example of how, as little old me, little old cafe owner, can jump on a mega trend.
Exactly.
And so, don't think that you're too far removed. These, if you can jump on those, you can accelerate your business. You can get ahead of the curve. You can be the expert in there, and that's what you need to do. If you want to be successful, if you want to have the businesses, the businesses right at the top, the top of the revenue chain, the top of the profitability chain, like the businesses that I build each and every day. If you want to be in that, you got to jump in these big trends.
Yeah. So the next piece, I'm thinking some people are going some thoughts through their head. Oh man, that means my, potentially it's going to cost me more to acquire that raw material or that supply to be the best cafe and to get the best coffee beans. Well, hey, guess what? And we've got a tutorial. We've got so much material around. Do not make the price the most sensitive piece of your sales transaction. If you can show people that you're providing great quality, and the awesome thing is if it's sourced locally, you can do the quality check. You're not reliant on seeing it through a screen at a factory in another country. You can actually go there, check the quality, make sure it's what you need, because your customer wants quality product, fabulous service, great feeling, great value add. The price doesn't become an issue. It's how do I buy this?
Now, and if you want to know how to do that, is there still room? Can people still jump into the Biz Bootcamp?
Absolutely, they can. Like, we are only week 1 in, so it's early days. So we've definitely got space for more. you know, people who just are listening to this going, oh, I need to find a way. How do I do this? Biz Boot Camp is where you're going to, it's a great place to hang out for us. You know, we'll share with you what we know. We'll put you through the process, you know, and we cover a topic each week that's relevant to building the foundations of your business so that you can take advantage of what's going on outside of your little sphere of influence. Look, we break those barriers of thinking small. We want your arms to go wide, 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 not thinking I'm just a little business. We're going to knock that out of you.
If you're watching this and you're resonating with some of the things going on, you're thinking, I'd like to inject some of that into my business, join the Biz Boot Camp. You get 56 days of just what we've gone through, 56 days of mentoring for you and shaping your business and building a plan for your business so that you can have a better business and a better life. So make sure that you jump into navigatebiz.com. That's www.navig8biz.com and come and sign up for the Biz Boot Camp. We've got Afterpay, we've got PayPal we've got all the different methods in there. And hey, we'd love to see you in there. Oh, look at that. There's something else new technology that's coming.
Why make it hard for people, right?
There's something else new. Okay, so we've got it's all on screen there. So jump in there and come and join us in the Biz Boot Camp. Intensive, specific ways on how to grow your business. You know, we mold and shape your thinking, your business. Stop your thinking small business. Start your thinking big business and big life. Indeed. Come join us. Navigate Biz on the Biz Boot Camp.
And it doesn't matter what business you're in. Service, product, pens, coffee, finance. We'd love to have you.
Yeah. Absolutely. And for that, the same thing applies. If you're in a charity, and you are looking to expand that charity, you're looking to get more exposure for that charity. You're looking to get more, more donations, revenue through that. It's the same principle.
Yeah.
It's the same principle. So it doesn't matter whether you're, a brand new business in startup mode, you're established business, and you know that you could be doing better, that you're a not-for-profit. Come join us in the Biz Boot Camp and let our system grow you through the roof.
Help you grow it. Yes, let's get there. Love to see you there. Have an awesome Saturday.
Okay, let's do it. And we'll catch you. When are we back on? We're back on Tuesday morning?
Tuesday, back live again. So we'll be here talking about all matters business. Come check us out.
Have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
Ta-da.